What's up, guys? This is NorbCam coming at you with a great news announcement. The Seahawks have re-signed wide receiver Josh Gordon. Yes, Josh Gordon, Flash Gordon is back with the Seahawks. Reportedly a one-year deal worth around $1 million to bring Josh Gordon back to the Seahawks. This is huge news. Been kind of eyeballing this, thinking that this whole time, if Josh Gordon was to be taken off of that the suspension list, that Seattle would be the perfect home for him to come back to, and it looks like that's all working out now. Just this morning. So Josh Gordon, yes, out of jail, out of suspension jail, and back with the Seahawks. 1 year, $1 million deal. This is huge. In a receiving corps already filled with a lot of speed from DK Metcalf, Philip Dorsett, and Paul Richardson added last week, and now Josh Gordon. We're talking about 4 legit speed guys who can really stretch the field. Then throw in, of course, Tyler Lockett, the always reliable Tyler Lockett, who can find the open spaces. Our improvements in tight end, and then we just got a whole bunch of guys there on depth at wide receiver. So Seattle's got to make some big decisions here for sure in terms of who they keep for the roster. But loving this lineup. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Philip Dorsett, then you got Paul Richardson, Flash Gordon. That's six really good receivers right there who can stretch the field. And then you got the other guys in there: David Moore, John Ursua, Phillips Wayne. Am I missing anybody else? I'm sure I'm missing somebody else, but those are the big names that jump to mind. So pretty awesome, man. Pretty cool. Just more depth to an already great arsenal of weapons for Russell Wilson to throw to. I'm actually on my way. I only live a few miles away from the VMAC. I'm actually going there right now. I've got my buddy Tyler over in Germany, the one who does the socks from Soulmate, does a lot of my did these wristbands for me, did my socks, and some other awesome merch. Going over there, got a special package to pick up for him, which got to send back to Germany. So I'm heading over to the VMAC right now to go grab this stuff for him before the day gets rolling. But what a great way to start the day! What a great way to start the day with that news. At one point there was a discussion: who would be the most likely? Who would you want to have signing with Seattle if you could get him to start the season? Antonio Brown or Josh Gordon? Well, we knew Antonio Brown wouldn't be available anyway because he was suspended for the first 8 games. Josh Gordon was just quietly kind of unknown as to when would he be taken off that list. But between the two, I think you could probably argue that Antonio Brown's probably got a little bit more upside in terms of his talent, but in terms of a guy you know what you're getting, because we had him last year for a solid, how many games did he play? 3 games before he did get suspended again. It made the perfect sense to have him back, because really the Seahawks really had no issues. He fit in. He wasn't, like the number 1 target or anything like that, but he had some clutch receptions. Big part of that victory against the 49ers. He had a huge catch. Actually, I think he had the record for the longest catch. Was it the second? I'm trying to remember now. One of the longest catches last year against Carolina, with Russell throwing a deep ball to him in a post pattern. And so I'm excited to see more of that again. And he's, in terms of the depth, we're talking about a guy who's like probably the number 4 receiver. Josh Gordon, at one point obviously it was number 1 talent, but since all these things that have happened in his career, he has fallen off in terms of the chart. But to think that Josh Gordon is your number 4 guy on your receiving core, That is huge, and he can still contribute in a huge way. So really excited about that. And then not to mention the tight end side of things. I've been saying all along this year, I think the tight end crew is going to be a huge difference maker, both in the run game with Will Disley, Greg Olson, and then of course the other guys, Hollister and Luke Wilson, depending on how many they decide to keep, since they've got quite a number of guys in that department as well. It's exciting just to think of the opportunities. You know, the blocking should be better. The options for Russell to throw to should be better, not only in just personnel, but the fact that we've got better options, assuming health stays good. So many more down the field options for Russell to throw to between tight end and this receiving core now. So I like it. I like it a lot. Now, how long will it take for him to get acclimated with a week and a half, less than a week and a half before the first game? I assume that they'll have to bring him in. He's going to have to get COVID-19 testing done, you know, do a health evaluation. I don't know how he's been during the season. I've been talking about what his condition is in terms of how he's been staying in shape. That's a whole other mystery. So we don't know if he's game ready right now. You know, I guess I'm trying to pump the brakes a little bit over my excitement about this possibility, because it's not like they just can plug him in 1 second. But the good thing is he's not a guy who they just pulled off the streets, who has never been to Seattle, doesn't know the system. The nice thing is he already knows the system from being here last year. So psychologically, mentally, he shouldn't have too much of a learning curve, unless they've made some changes to the playbook, for Josh Gordon to jump in and just start being able to be integrated into the offense. Really the second part of the question is, how healthy is he? How in shape is he? How has he been taking care of his body during this offseason when everyone's kind of in on their own if you're not with the team? So the part about the... All right, I think I hit a dead spot. But so every play anyway, but maybe they work in him on a certain 4 receiver set, just have him run a few routes. I can see that working. So I'm sure he will see some action. He just may be worked in a little slower than maybe if he'd been here the whole time. Either way, it's a great deal for Seattle at a very low risk price. So I'm pretty excited about this move with Josh Gordon. I can't wait to see this product on the field. It's just so weird this year just to have absolutely no idea, like no preseason, no training camp open to the public to watch. So, everything just sort of happening very, it's all just going to happen right in front of your eyes. Game 1, boom, here's the team, guys. No dress rehearsal. It's the real show. You just go out there and play. And so it's going to be interesting. I'm sure this is going to be a little rough. I'm sure it's going to be a little rusty. This is huge news for Seattle. So yes, Josh Gordon back with the Seahawks, 1-year deal, about $1 million, just cleared the suspension list. So Josh Gordon is back in a Seahawks uniform. I'm actually just minutes away from the VMAC. I'm entering 405, which is just a couple exits away from the VMAC. I might just keep this on live so you can see what it looks like, so you can get an idea how it is. Rampansy says, Clowney commented on a post with Emerald City last night supporting Pete Carroll and Jamal Adams. Sports Live in the ATL, of course. We were talking about that game. He says, I will be looking for a Falcons football this weekend, Norb. Well, we will play the games. We will be discussing the wagers, the deal, and the terms of our bet and our collaboration this Sunday. So I look forward to it, man. This got kicked off. That was weird. Anyway, get this on here. I'm like trying to illegally live stream while you're trying to drive. Don't try this at home, kids. Speaking of driving, so I'm waiting for this light to turn. All right, entering 405 north here, a couple exits away from the VMAC. Speaking of driving, can't believe my oldest daughter, she turned 16 in December, and I've been teaching her how to drive over the last few weeks during this COVID time. She's taking driver's ed, and pretty soon, actually today, is it today? Today she's scheduled to take her written part of the test for her driver's license. She won't be able to do the driver part of the test yet because they've been backed up, a lot of it due to this COVID stuff, so it won't be for a few weeks. She still has to do the actual driving instruction. She hasn't had that yet, so everything's kind of offset. But if all goes as planned, by February she will have her license. She can't have her license until February because she just got her permit last month, and you have to have your permit for 6 months before you can get your driver's license. But she's already been driving around, and it's weird. It's weird to be in the passenger seat with your baby girl at the wheel. Life moves pretty fast, but it's pretty exciting though. Pretty cool to see our kids growing up so fast. Well, anyway, we're about 2 miles away from the VMAC. I'll turn the camera around when I get close so you guys can kind of see the route. But yeah, I don't know if you guys saw this live stream last night. Had a panel discussion, long one. We were on for like 2.5 hours talking Seahawks with Seahawks Martin, the Bolt, Noah, Calvin, Stevie A. Smith, and my good buddy Brian Abker, who I haven't seen in a long time, and it was great to have him on the show last night, offering his perspective on the Seahawks and how they look going into this first game of the NFL season. This was, of course, before we knew about Josh Gordon, so that would have added a little more fuel to the fire, knowing that he was going to be back with the team. I don't think anybody expected that to happen anytime soon, but pretty cool. It makes sense, though. I was saying that if Josh Gordon were to be released from his suspension after, 7 times of being suspended, that this Seattle would be the perfect landing place for him. And here he is, right back where he was last year. Hopefully, just keep himself clean now, and let's have a full year with Josh Gordon and the rest of this receiving core. I like the looks of that, big time. So I'm heading up 405, Interstate 405 on the southeast side of Lake Washington. I'm about to turn this around so you can see what it looks like here. Hopefully this view is okay. Yeah, it's coming up on this next exit, just so you can get a perspective on where VMAC is. Rampsey, yes, he is off the exempt list. He's just been suspended, so he's no longer suspended. Released from suspension from the NFL suspended list. So my understanding, at least from what I'd read, is that he is off. He's signed and he's off the list. I believe that is the situation. Got a little bit of traffic here, slowing down as I'm approaching the exit. As I get off the exit, I'll flip the camera view over to you guys so you can see from my perspective. Beautiful day here in the Pacific Northwest. Currently 66 degrees out, sunny skies, a little bit of clouds here and there, but it's a pretty gorgeous day. It's been kind of like this for most of this summer. That's one thing about what's great about living in Seattle. Yeah, you do get a lot of rain, a lot of cloudy days between fall and spring, and even during the summer. There's some August days we had cold, rainy days, which is I'm sure hard for some of you guys to believe. But the nice thing about here is it never gets too hot. It will get into the 90s if a rare few days like that comes up, but it usually sits around in like the 80s. And so if you're like me, where it's like I love 70s, high 70s, once you get to like mid 80s and higher, it's a little bit too hot unless you're at a water park or something. But 90 is just too much. Anything with 90 and higher is just too much. So it's nice that it's usually the weather lands right in that perfect amount, and today's going to be one of those days. All right, I'm going to flip this around so you can see. There we go. So this is 405 northbound, and that's a couple exits from where my place is. So you take exit number 7, and you get off here, and then VMAC is going to be just off to the left, on the left side where the lake is. So you got to get off the freeway here, and we're going to go over the freeway onto Seahawks Way, and that's where you can already see the edge of the VMAC right there. That little bit of building right there. That's the building. You'll see it much closer in a second. Now, if it was my daughter driving, I'd say, okay, so Sophie, you gotta wait. It's a four-way stop, so you wait for that guy on the right to go, and then it's your turn. And hopefully no jerk comes out here and doesn't take his turn, or it goes out of order. All right, so now we're on 405, or crossing 405, and this is where the Seahawks VMAC headquarters entry is right here. You can see the sign right there. Welcome to Renton, the 12 flag right there. Home of the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks way, baby. There we go. And the VMAC is right there. This is one of the most beautiful practice facilities you'll find anywhere in the country. Right off the shores of Lake Washington. A beautiful view to the left. You can't see it right now, but the lake is you'll have the VMAC on the left, and right behind it is the lake. It's right on the edge of the lake. All right, so I'm picking up a package from a buddy here. It's supposed to be the north gate. If it's not this gate is closed. There's the VMAC right there. Can't really see it, but you'll see it better in a second. Here we go, north gate. You get to be along for the ride. Hopefully we have no problems here. All right, pull in the north security gate, pick up a package. Hi there, how's it going? I'm picking up a package. Jason Myers was leaving something here for friend Tyler Fryer. Also, I might have my name on there, Norbert Kawili. Is that it?
Yeah.
Cool. That's my ID.
All right, there you go.
All right, thanks, man. Have a good one.
You too. Take care.
You too. Okay, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. All right, I'm gonna turn this baby around. All right, so mission accomplished, got the goods, package delivered. Actually, more like package received. Something from Jason Myers. I'm gonna stop right here and just take a quick shot, let you guys see the VMAC entrance right here as I pull off to the side of the road. For those of you who've never really seen this place, let's see, here's a good view. Take the camera off this holder for a second. All right, so here is we got a view of the honey bucket in front of the VMAC. There you go, honey bucket and VMAC. Let's get past that honey bucket. There you go. So there you go. That's the indoor practice facility, that huge thing. Been here a few times. And some of you, I'm sure, have been down here before too. And that's the indoor facility. And then this kind of orangish tan colored building here. That's all the administrative offices. And then, you won't be able to see it because it's on a berm here. The berm is blocking it. But right there, if there was no hill here, no trees, that's the practice facility. This is where we all line up, normally would have people crowded, lined up, watching the team practice. It's all right there. The field is right down there. You see the uprights barely peeking out. But they have like 3 or 4 fields right there. But yeah, that's where it's at, right there, on the other side of that. So, pretty cool. I missed not being to be here this summer for training camp. Rare camp that didn't get to see. Here is the sign. You had to blur by it, but there's the real sign right there. Welcome to Renton 12, home of the Seattle Seahawks, Super Bowl 48 champions right there. There you go. So that's a quick little tour. I can take you along with me. Glad you can ride along with this little quick visit to the VMAC as I picked up my little Jason Myers package for my buddy, soulmate, Tyler Fryer, also known as Haggy Hawk over in Germany. All right, I'm back to work, back to the office, back to the studio. But it was fun having you guys along and fun to share this news about the Seahawks re-signing Josh Gordon. I guess I'm not like super crazy excited because I kind of figured this was going to happen. I just knew that if he were to get released off of that suspension, that Seattle made the perfect place for him to go. And I figured it was just a matter of time. I just kind of thought maybe it'd be later, like maybe at least miss a couple of games. So the fact that he got out before the season even started is that's the real positive. That was the part that I was not expecting. So works out perfect. A $1 million 1-year deal for it's kind of a prove it, earn your what you got left in the tank. You know, hope to bring this team to a championship. It's kind of got the Greg Olsen type of deal. It's the let's go 1 year and see what you can do. And let's see if we can take it to the promised land. And after that, we'll see where everything's sits after that. See how the year plays out. See how the health plays out. See how performance grades out. But I like it right now. That's a low risk, very low risk move. For a guy with still, I think, a lot of talent, and again, he's not going to hasn't had the prep time, but I think he can, with the fact that he is familiar with the system, I think he can come in and be a quick contributor. It'll just take a little bit of time to probably gel and get some rhythm back, and get that rapport with Russell. And I think it's one of the things that I don't think it'll take that long to connect, to get up to speed with him. The receiver, there's a lot of body language. There is some kind of getting familiar with, you're not just running your route and every time you just run, you just get the ball at that spot. Sometimes it works out that way, but a lot of times it's that kind of Russell Wilson making up plays as you go and getting that feel as to when I start scrambling, where am I going to find you? What's the kind of unspoken, okay, things, it's a fire drill now, where am I going to find you to be at? And there were times over the last recent years where it felt like receivers would just start standing around and not getting open when things break down, and Russell's got nowhere to go. And I think these players now hopefully are of that mindset that, the play's never done, and when you run your route and the ball, they come to you, you don't just stop and kind of go, well, I guess they didn't get the ball. You're always looking for that second opportunity, that run around, come back to the ball if you have to, come back, go deep, those types of things. And that's the kind of stuff that without any practice reps, Russ and Gordon won't have that time to develop that. But again, I think in early on in strategic situations, he could still be used to do something, even just a distraction, just to get guys to coverage to have to respect him going deep as a decoy. Send a vertical, just get safeties having to go back to cover him and open up the middle for Tyler Lockett or Will Dissly or DK Metcalf going across, or Philip Dorsett. I'm just excited of the opportunities, because for a long time we've always felt like we didn't have that number one receiver. We don't have that number one receiver type guy here in Seattle. It's just, we just never went and got one. Well, to me now, I feel like we've got a legit number one in DK Metcalf. Granted, he's only in his second year, so he's not a rookie anymore. But I think this is where you step out from the rookie stage, and now he can take this and really tell the world that I am the number one receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, and people will know that coming in, and he's going to command that type of attention. I just think this guy's going to be awesome to watch this year. So Tyler Lockett is going to benefit from all that. Philip Dorsett is going to be flying down the field. Josh Gordon, David Moore potentially, all these guys. Who knows? Maybe even John Ursua. Although I see John, it seems like John Ursua is going to still be keeping himself busy on special teams. But you never know. You never know. And it's good to know also that while we've got 4 solid receivers and then 6 really on Paul Richardson to add to that mix. Injuries will happen. Things are going to come up, but it's nice to know we've got 1, 2, a couple of the guys that we can know are going to be able to fill in and not just be fill-in guys, but can step up and be huge contributors. So the depth is looking really good at receiver. So that's cool. That's really cool. So yeah, it's a good day. It's a good way to start this day. And so now I'm just I'm gonna go back to I gotta get back to work, working feverishly on this season prediction video. And for those of you guys who didn't see my video yesterday, I am inviting you to send in your video clip of yourself. Either you can be doing the choreography to the Jason Derulo Savage Love song. You could do a little clip of yourself dancing to that, or you could do something else, because I'm going to need clips throughout the video, so only so many people are going to make it into that little bit. So, or you could just be posing, just give me some of that 12 attitude in your Seahawks gear, or just doing some. You could just be doing some other moves to some other song. I'll find some place to put it if it's not specifically with that song. So, I'm giving people till this video premieres a week from tomorrow, and so my goal. I would need to have all submissions by Tuesday to give me time to put any last-minute clips into the edit before the show airs on Friday. So it's to be by Tuesday next week, which is that would be the 9th? No, the 8th. Tuesday the 8th, send in your clips, if not sooner. And it's going to be dope. It's going to be a cool video, one of the longer prediction videos that I've done. 16 songs. One song per game. With definitely longest video of this type, but all for your enjoyment. Hope you guys will enjoy it. So looking forward to putting it out there and watching your guys' reactions to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of work. So that's about it, guys. We'll keep it here in case more breaking news comes this way before the start of the season next weekend. Otherwise, that's it. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will be in touch with you guys. More videos to come, and we'll talk to y'all later. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. All that stuff is a big help. I appreciate it. Alrighty, have a good day. Talk to y'all later.